Hello YouTube, Andy from NGB here, and I'm talking to Mr. Kieran McClung. How the devil are you, Kieran?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad myself. Now, you're here to talk to us about a game that you've been playing called, is it Trailblazers?
It is indeed. That's the very same.
So, what is Trailblazers? WTF is Trailblazers? Question mark.
Well, it's a racing game.
It's a racing game. Okay.
Nvid. No, it's a cool little racing game actually. It's sort of reminiscent of really old school like WipEout, F-Zero type games.
So it's kind of like a sort of a speedy sort of futuristic.
Yeah. So you're in like floating cars and you're going around on these really ridiculous tracks at ridiculous speeds. But there's a little twist in this game. And, that's a painting mechanic, which is it's pretty cool. You basically you can paint colours onto the track, and the reason you do that is because when you drive over your colour, it gives you a boost. So you actually race with a partner in all of the races. In single player, you're just with an AI person, but not an AI person. You know what I mean?
A computer-controlled player.
Yes, that's
an NPC.
An NPC. It is quite cool actually because you can do custom races. With someone who's sat next to you via split screen. So that's pretty cool because I quite like split screen games, and you don't get many of them about anymore. So
you don't. That is a sort of something that we sadly lament these days, is the old couch co-op games. So it sounds a bit like sort of Splatoon meets WipEout then. Yeah,
that is a perfect description. And I'm using that in the review now. So
there you go.
There we go.
You can quote me on that.
I'll quote you on that. But yeah, so you basically just whiz around and you fill up your paint meter, and then you can paint it on the track. And as you come back round again on the second lap, when you go over, it'll give you a boost. And you can stack your boost. Sort of like I think there's 3 or 4 levels of boost. So the idea is to try keeping your painted track for as long as you can. However, there are other teams that can paint over. So it's quite cool because it's not all about trying to come first. I mean, it kind of is, but there's a strategy there where you've got to think, right, next time I come round here, maybe I go like slightly off the normal racing line and paint a track there, so that I can use that next time round.
So you've got to kind of think a lap ahead as to how you're painting the track, as to what's going to be more useful for you and your teammates.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and you can also, it's not all about just laying paint behind you. You can also use it as an attack, so you can launch like a channel of your paint in front of you, and if there are any opponents there, it'll spin them out. But that's quite handy as well if you're on a straight section of track, because you can actually launch it straight in front of you, and then you can use that to boost. So you can use that tactically as well, rather than just trying to destroy opponents.
That's interesting. That sounds pretty cool. So, I mean, what are the tracks like? So, how many tracks have you got in the game?
Off the top of my head, I've not seen them all, but I think there's about 12. There could be a few more than that, but there's sort of 3 or 4 different environments. There's like a jungle environment or a futuristic city. The city one's quite tricky actually because it's all angled, so it's really square. So you can't sort of like drift around corners and things. You've got to brake, and it can be a bit fiddly. But yeah, they're nice variety of tracks. You've also got a few different types of racer you can race as well, and they have benefits as well. So some of them are good at laying down paint, some of them are quicker. And it's really just trying to find the best duo, which obviously would be better online because then you can team up. But during the story, you sort of, as you progress, you get given like a different teammate to race with, and there's like a little bit of story there as well. So it's quite cool. You can learn about the character, and then it's quite a fun game. It's not taking itself too. Yeah, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is good.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like raw fun, really.
Excellent. It looks a lot of fun. I mean, do you think there's plenty there to sort of keep you entertained? Is there plenty of game modes on offer?
At the moment, I've only played 2 different game modes. There's the standard race where you have the paint mechanic and you can paint and you can shoot the paint in front of you. There's another mode where you go through gates on the track and the paint thing's actually disabled. So you get the paint when you go through a track and it'll launch like a trail of your colour in front of you. But there's loads of gates around the track, so the idea there is to try and get through them quickly, because once they've been activated, no one else can use them.
Ah, right. So you've got to kind of claim as much as you can do to sort of...
Yeah, and then...
that's really interesting.
Yeah, and then obviously if you take over the track, then you're just going to absolutely rinse the opponents the next lap. But I've not seen any other game modes yet. I've played for like a couple of hours, well, a few hours actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how far I am through the story because it's chapter based.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's enough there at the moment. It is actually, I think it's retailing for 25 quid, so it's not a full price.
Not a mega budget. Yeah, it's double A sort of title, mid range.
Yeah, and there's
middle shelf game.
Middle shelf. There's plenty. Yeah. There's plenty at the moment. Whether it starts to get boring later on, I'm not sure. Time will tell.
This sounds really cool. I'm quite keen to have a look at it myself, actually. So yeah, and I've been looking at some of the races that you've been posting between us, and it looks really cool. It looks really interesting, and something fresh take on sort of a new idea. So yeah, looking forward to reading your review on that, Kieran.
Yeah, that'll be later on in the week.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed listening to Kieran chatting about Trailblazers here. I believe you've got some unedited footage of a full Gates race that you've done, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll show that afterwards.
Yeah, so we'll chuck that on now. So as always, like, share, comment, subscribe, all the usual YouTube jazz, and we shall keep an eye out for Trailblazers because it looks like a fun little game. It's coming out on, I think, PS4, is it? And
yep. It's on Xbox, PC,
Xbox One. I think there's a Switch version coming out later in the year as well. So
it'd be cool on that, because there is a game similar to that on the Switch, isn't there? Not with the paint mechanic, but there's like
there's a game that I really liked and I can't remember the name. Fast Racing Neo. Fast Racing Neo. Yeah. So it's got that kind of WipEout vibe to it, yeah. But in fact, there's 2 games like it because there's Splatoon on Switch as well. But anyway, we digress. We digress. Well, thank you very much, Kieran. Looking forward to reading your review of Trailblazers. And keep your eyes on NGB for all the latest, hottest games, footage, reviews, news, all that kind of jazz. And we shall see you soon. Bye.
Bye.